What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Matt Talks Films. I am back with another video. I am back with another review, and this time I'm talking about one of my favorite films of all time, and in my opinion, the greatest superhero film of all time, and that is The Dark Knight, directed by the magnificent Christopher Nolan. I got to see this in theaters today. I was so happy to see it. I've watched this film so many times, as you can imagine. I even saw it in the theaters when it first came out, but I was a little younger then. I was around 8 years old, and I don't remember it. I remember bits and pieces of that theater experience. But today, as a 23-year-old man, I got to see it in theaters for the first time ever. I'll consider it ever because I was 8 years old. I didn't really experience it like how I did today. And my God, it was truly, truly magnificent, and it was amazing to behold and experience. Thanks to Regal, they're re-releasing all the classics that you love and know. It's called Cinna, I believe. This event they're doing all month long in September, and god damn it, it's everything I've ever wanted my local theater franchise to do. Showing classics that should be happening every week, at least once a day. But thankfully, this is happening for all 31 days or 30 days of September. So I am going to see so many movies that I love and adore that I haven't seen on the big screen in theaters, which is fucking amazing. I get to see, this is the lineup next week. I get to see The Departed, Goodfellas, Taxi Driver, and The Thing. The Thing on my birthday, mind you. I'm a 9/11 baby. So I get to watch one of my very favorite films of all time, The Goodfellas and fucking The Thing, in theaters, thanks to Regal and the Cinema event that are running all month long. If you don't know about it, now you know. Go to the theaters this month. Not only for the new releases, we're getting a new PTA film this month, but we're also getting all the classics we love and adore, and we get to see them on the big screen for the first time. Casablanca is getting shown this month, man, on the big screen. Are you kidding me? Yes, 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 yes. I will be there. I'll be there as much as I can, as late at night as I can. I'll be there any time of the day that I can because I love films, and Regal is doing something for all cinema lovers and film lovers. So I suggest you go do this if you didn't know about it. So take this as a sign to go to the movies this month because they're showing the films that you love and that you should love. And if you haven't seen these classics, you get to experience them for the first time in theaters. I saw Paper Moon the other day. Never seen it before. It's been on the watch list for a minute. I knew it was the film that had the youngest Oscar winner ever, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go see it in theaters for the first time, and it was magnificent. It's a flawless film. It's one of the greatest films I've ever seen, and guess what? My first experience of this film was on the big screen. So Regal is creating these magical events for you to experience, and you should go do it. But today we're talking about The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is the greatest superhero film of all time, the greatest comic book film of all time, and I really think there's not really a debate for it. It is not only the greatest superhero film of all time, it's one of the greatest films of the 21st century. When you think of noteworthy films of the 21st century, The Dark Knight has to be one of the first films you think about. Not only because of all the tragedies involved with this film, whether it was the theater shooting or it was Heath Ledger's death, this film is truly a film that is just done on a grand scale and is completed in the most perfect vision ever for a superhero movie. The execution on display is absolutely unreal. I want to give you guys my superhero movie rankings of all time. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone just to give you my concrete top 5. So here are the greatest superhero movies ever made. Number 1, I have The Dark Knight. Number 2, I have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Number 3, I have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Number 4, I have Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Sam Raimi trilogy. Number 5, I have Spider-Man 1. And then number 6, Batman Begins. Number 7, the original Superman. Number 8, the newest Superman, directed by James Gunn. Absolutely love that film. Number 9, I have Avengers Infinity War. And then number 10, I have Guardians of the Galaxy. If you want to hear more about this list, let me know in the comments. But that is my top 10 favorite superhero movies of all time. And clearly, Dark Knight has to be at number 1. Let's talk about the cast of this film because I really think this is the greatest cast to ever grace a superhero film. And is certainly the best director to ever grace a superhero film as well. And that's pretty evident as the year 2025 continues and as this 21st century continues. So let's get this straight and off the bat. Christian Bale is the greatest Batman of all time. The greatest Batman of all time. I'm sorry. All you Ben Affleck motherfuckers out there who try to say he's the greatest Batman of all time, shut up. I like Ben Affleck as Batman, don't get me wrong. The movies were shit. Never got a solo Batman movie with him. He's off the table. Robert Pattinson, very, very, very good in the Batman. Movie might be a little bit overrated. I still like the movie, but the people like on Twitter consider that like the greatest thing since sliced bread, which is ridiculous. Um, he could have a chance in this battle for the best Batman if he makes more than 2 films. Because Christian Bale has his own trilogy, and 2 of those 3 movies are fucking masterpieces of the superhero genre, in my opinion. And yeah, I don't know if Pattinson will be able to touch Bale's trilogy when it's all said and done. Michael Keaton, very good Batman, the start of it all, and then the rest of the 2, George Clooney and Val Kilmer, fuck off. Respect to both, though. Christian Bale is the greatest Batman of all time, and that's pretty clear and evident to me. He's at least my favorite. We also have one of the greatest performances ever in film, which is crazy to say about a superhero movie because sometimes people don't consider them real films. Most of the time I do, but there are very few circumstances where they are films to me, and they hold a big place in my heart, but obviously not a lot of them are real films in my opinion. But this film, The Dark Knight, has the greatest performance maybe of the 21st century, and definitely one of the greatest performances of all time. Heath Ledger, what Heath Ledger does here is absolutely absurd. He won an Oscar for a comic book slash superhero movie performance. That's never happening again. I'm sorry, never happening again. What he does in this film, transcendent, gets thrown around a lot. I like to use it a lot because I like to run out of words. My brain isn't that big. But for real, his performance is one of the performances throughout the art of film where you clearly see this man as the Joker, not Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger loses himself in this performance and completely becomes the Joker. It is absolutely mind-blowing to watch, and every scene he is in this film is breathtaking. I was watching this film in theaters today. It was only like 4 people in the theater, but I was having the time of my life, and I was just in awe of Heath Ledger and the performance. It's really hard to grasp how great his performance is, and I'm so glad he got the Oscar, but I am really upset that he never got to see how loved he is from this performance, and I'm really curious what they would have done with the Joker, because they didn't kill him in this movie. They definitely would have set up more movies with the Joker and the Batman because of how insanely great he was in this film. And man, I really, really miss Heath Ledger, and I think this is one of the greatest performances of all time. And I don't care how many times people need to say that. It's a quote and statement by me and by everyone else who said it that needs to be championed and talked about for the rest of the art of film, in my opinion. Heath Ledger's performance as the Joker transcends every fucking performance ever in any comic book slash superhero movie ever. It's just nothing has come close to that performance in that genre. It is absurd, and there are so many scenes and sequences in this movie where he steals the show. And honestly, I love this film. It's a 5 out of 5, 100 out of 100, 10 out of 10. But the film does slightly flatline when he's not in the film. Not because the rest of the film is bad, but because of how fucking legendary his performance is. And yeah, can't say enough about how great Heath Ledger is in this film, and it should be championed for forever, and I really think it is gonna. It's a film and performance that transcends time, and Heath Ledger is the main reason why this film is so great and so memorable. And Heath Ledger, goddamn it, the greatest comic book slash superhero performance of all time. And I don't care how annoying and how many times you've heard it, it's the truth. We also have Morgan Freeman in this movie as Lucius. Oh my god. And then we have Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon. And then we have Michael Caine as Alfred. Are you fucking kidding me? The cast of this fucking superhero movie is the greatest cast to ever grace a superhero movie. And it is absurd, dude. The cast is insane. I get Michael Caine in one scene. I get fucking Gary Oldman in one scene talking to Christian Bale. I get Morgan Freeman and Christian Bale conversating. I get all these great actors performing in a fucking superhero movie effortlessly, and they completely look like they're enjoying what the fuck they're in. It doesn't look like, oh, we did this for the money. No, no, no. We did this to be in a Christopher Nolan movie and a fucking Batman movie, and we're gonna deliver. It's absurd. I love Gary Oldman in this film. He adds so much to this movie. There's so many one-liners and lines said by him where I laugh. Not at him, but I'm just laughing about how good he is in this role, and I'm laughing at how funny and kind of corny the lines are, but perfect for the film. I love Michael Caine in this movie, man. Every movie in this Batman trilogy, Michael Caine adds fire to it. He brings the juice when he's talking to Bruce Wayne and Batman. He's cutting him the truth. He's protecting him from the very harsh truths of reality, and he fucking loves Bruce Wayne, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Michael Caine is the best Alfred of all time. Gary Oldman is the best Commissioner Gordon of all time, and Morgan Freeman as Lucius, the man who creates the bat suits, creates the bat vehicle. Man, amazing. The cast is incredible. We even get Aaron Eckhart at his best, at his peak. Aaron Eckhart is very fucking good as Two-Face slash Harvey Dent. Fucking incredible, man. So goddamn good. We even get Michael Jai White. Oh my god. There's a lot of actors in this movie that just bring it to the table and they deliver and they make this movie what it is. I love it. Christian Bale is in this fucking movie as Batman. Not only does he kill it as the Batman, some people don't like his voice. I get it, but I like the voice, and he's the best Bruce Wayne of all time. The scenes where Christian Bale is playing Bruce Wayne, and particularly I'm thinking about one specific scene, and honestly one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Christian Bale, aka Bruce Wayne, goes to dinner with his Russian figure skater, I forget what she is, or a model, and he sees Harvey Dent and Rachel Dawes at dinner. He sits with them and he wants to feel out Harvey Dent. He wants to figure out if he's different than the rest of the commissioners and the politicians in Gotham. And he starts to slowly like him. Like, you see like Batman's expression through Bruce Wayne, and then you see Bruce Wayne's expressions like, hey, this guy's a good guy. I trust him, and I'm going to do everything to help him be successful and make Gotham great. And that scene is incredible. We also hear the most famous quote in this movie in that scene, and probably the most overused quote of the 21st century, which is, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain, which is honestly an amazing quote and an amazing piece of dialogue used in this film, but it is overused, and you hear it everywhere, every TikTok edit, every Instagram edit, every Vine edit. It's transcendent of time, literally. That quote is used all the time, but that's maybe one of my top 5 favorite scenes in this film. I love that scene. If I had to recast one person in this film, it's pretty obviously Maggie Gyllenhaal. I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, we also got Cillian Murphy in this movie. Like, we get greatness everywhere in this movie, in every actor and every performance. We see so many great actors in this film, whether it's the bigger roles or the little roles. People in this film were either big before they got in this film or either blossomed right after this film, and there's so many different examples of that. So I really cherish the casting in this film, and I really cherish the performances. We get the best Batman ever. We get the best Joker ever by a margin. We also get the best Commissioner Gordon. We get the best Lucius, and we get the best Alfred. We get the best Two-Face for now. So amazing, 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 amazing. I also love the opening sequence of this film, inspired by Heat. Beautifully, beautifully filmed, great filmmaking, and great, great, great guessing game. If you've never seen this film, I think you'd be pretty shocked by the ending of that opening sequence. It takes my breath away every time, and to see it on the big screen is a dream of mine. A lot of people have dreams. Some people's dreams are doing coke, partying with strippers, being a millionaire. Don't get me wrong, I love to be a millionaire, but my dream is to see the classics in theaters on the big screen, because I'm a big film guy, alright? I'm a guy's guy. Come on. And I'm living my dream here. Still in my bedroom, living my dream, going to the cinema and seeing these classics. But anyway, the opening sequence of this film sets the tone. It is amazing to watch unfold, and it is the first of many action sequences that blow you away. The car chase scene in this film, under the tunnel, the explosions. There's so many bits of filmmaking and stunt work where I'm watching the film, I'm like, how the fuck did they make this? And yeah, I love to be a fly on the wall, on the shoulder of Christopher Nolan, behind the camera, directing people, just to know how this film was made. I need to watch the behind the scenes of The Dark Knight, because I imagine that is incredible. The Dark Knight is the perfect example of adding hints of realism to the superhero film you are making. And I think your boy, if you're a Zack Snyder fan watching this, fucked up. He watched the Christopher Nolan trilogy and was like, you know what? I can make a superhero movies, and you know what? I'm gonna make them super realistic. And he makes Man of Steel, and it's this big piece of shit, one of the worst superhero movies of all time, the worst character assassination of all time, and he failed miserably making it. And he got inspired by Christopher Nolan, I think. And I think Christopher Nolan is at fault for how DC ended up with the Zack Snyder films. And it's not his fault. He's a great filmmaker, and Zack Snyder saw was like, hey, I could replicate that. I could do what Christopher Nolan did, and he failed miserably. What Zack Snyder doesn't understand, and I think a lot of people don't understand, is the Dark Knight and the Batman Begins and the Dark Knight Rises is extremely self-aware. Yeah, there are these hints of realism to the film. It's dark at times, but there's hints of realism. But also, there are many moments in the Dark Knight and the Batman trilogy that Nolan made where it is extremely self-aware. He knows the world that this film and story is set in, and he knows the character he is working with and creating a story around and making a film around is one of the most beloved superhero characters of all time, and generally one of the great fictional characters of all time that is ridiculously beloved. So he is very careful with the source material at hand. He is very careful that he doesn't assassinate the character of Batman, and he just blends the realism and the comic book world realm perfectly. He makes a great superhero movie that adds a hint of realism. What Zack Snyder did was like, hey, I can do that. No, he made this ultra realistic version of Superman that doesn't make any sense, completely abandons every sense of purpose and perfection that is the Superman character, and breaks it into pieces and just says, hey, I made a realistic Superman, fuck you if you don't like it. And fuck you, Zack Snyder, for doing that. Man of Steel is one of the biggest pieces of shit of all time, and I can't stand that film. I hate it. Zack Snyder looked at Christopher Nolan's Batman and said, hey, I can do that, Superman. Failed miserably in every sense of the word. And Christopher Nolan, you're at fault, sadly. But Christopher Nolan, not your fault. You just are such a great filmmaker, and you transcended the superhero genre. Other people thought they could do what you did, and they couldn't. And they will never be able to make a better superhero film than the one you made in The Dark Knight. It is fucking incredible. The action sequences are incredible. There's so many one-liners in this film that hit home. Not even hit home, but are just beautiful one-liners. The dialogue in this film just fucking rocks, man. Sometimes people deserve to have faith rewarded is a great quote. Another quote, so we'll hunt him because he can take it. Like, there is a plethora of quotes in this film that just work. The exchange between Joker and the Batman in Bruce Wayne's apartment at the party, where the Joker bashes at the window and he's holding Rachel Dawes out the window, and the Batman says, drop her. And the Joker's like, that's the wrong choice of words. And he drops her, and Batman just goes after her and dies after her. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Another funny thing. So I started thinking about Christopher Nolan, where he added realism to superhero films and blended it perfectly together with the comic book and, surreal life of the comic book / superhero world. The great example of that is, yes, he adds realism to his superhero films, but also there are many sequences and scenarios in the 3 films that he made where it is pretty unbelievable and pretty ridiculous when you put your logic behind it. Like the scene in the hospital where the Joker is the nurse. He has his a fake wig on, and he's doing stuff for Two-Face. Everyone is evacuating the hospital, and he has his mask on, but he still has the Joker paint. And he pulls down the mask, and Two-Face is like, oh, Joker! And he gets all angry. He's like, bro, he had makeup. You can notice it's the Joker with the mask on. And it makes me laugh every time because it's so fucking perfect for a superhero movie. It feels like something out of an animation or a cartoon on a Saturday, that scene. I love that scene. It's perfect. And the people that make fun of that scene, yeah, it's cool to make fun of it. It's hilarious, but that is purposely done. I think that Nolan shot that scene knowing that how stupid it is to put logic behind that. Two-Face / Harvey Dent wouldn't recognize the Joker with the mask on because he has the Joker makeup on. There is also a way you can put logic behind it because there's an exchange between the nurse, or I think Commissioner Gordon, and Harvey Dent, where Commissioner says to Harvey Dent, they've been trying to give you medicine to stop the pain, but you refuse to take it. So maybe Harvey Dent is in immense pain where his vision is blurred and he doesn't recognize anybody's face. Nope, can't be true, because when the Joker pulls down his mask, he realizes it's the Joker. So yeah, I love this film from top to bottom. The little nuances in this film, the little things are done greatly, and at the scale this film is completed at is a scale we'll never see executed in the genre of superhero films. And god damn it, Christopher Nolan, this is the first sign of his genius, in my opinion. I love Memento. I think Memento is amazing film. Great performances, great filmmaking, a completely innovative art. Every intangible that filmmaking calls for you to have and execute to make a great film, he does it here. From set pieces, from set design, from costume design, everything that is shown in this film was a clear vision of Christopher Nolan's. I love this film. The Hans Zimmer score, the way this film concludes, Batman being chased by the dogs and being the hero that they need, not the one that he wants to be, taking the blame and white knighting Harvey Dent. Masterful. The scene where Rachel Dawes and Harvey Dent are both captive and held in rooms full of gasoline and jugs of gasoline waiting to be exploded. Batman goes to the wrong warehouse, saves Harvey Dent instead of Rachel Dawes. Perfect tension. This film has tension, it has subliminal comedy, it has the perfect hint of corniness, the perfect hint of realism, and just the greatest displays of filmmaking, and generally some of the best action sequences you'll see, and some of the greatest set pieces, costume designs, vehicle designs. I mean, name it. This film has a lot of it. There is a lot of times during this movie, watching in theaters, where I'm like, not only do I think it's one of my favorite films of all time, not only do I think it's one of the greatest 21st century films of all time, not only do I think it's the greatest comic book film of all time and the greatest superhero film of all time, I think this generally might be one of the greatest films ever made. Don't know where it is on the list. The list of greatest films of all time is such a long list, but I do think The Dark Knight has a place on that list. Whether you want to bring up the performances, whether you want to bring up the set pieces, the filmmaking, it's on that list somehow. And I love this film, and I think some people took the wrong idea from this film, aka Zack Snyder, and thought, hey, I can do that, try to do it better, try to make it more realistic, and you failed. You didn't have the type of little slight hints of corniness and realism and true superhero nature that Christopher Nolan incorporated in his films. Zack Snyder instead dumped a whole bunch of realism, non-charisma, and non-entertainment on his films in The Man of Steel and all the other films he made in the superhero genre. So, yeah, The Dark Knight, one of the greatest films of all time, one of the most noteworthy films of the 21st century, and generally, I think, one of the great films ever made, especially the greatest superhero film of all time. This film is truly an anomaly. It's lightning in a bottle, and to all the Batman 2022 dick riders, that film, it's a very good film, maybe even great. That film can't touch The Dark Knight. Couldn't even get close to it. So for all you dick riders out there who say that The Batman is the greatest film of all time, you're wrong. It's The Dark Knight. Easily and without a doubt. This film is a masterpiece. Hopefully I didn't go on too long talking about this film. I love everything about it. I could have talked more about it and more in depth, but I'm tired. So it's your boy Matt Talks Films. I'll be back Friday, maybe Thursday night, talking Conjuring: The Last Rites. It's your boy Matt Talks Films. I hope you enjoyed revisiting with me. Go watch The Dark Knight if you haven't seen it in a while. I'll catch you on the flip side. Follow me everywhere at Matt Talks Films. Follow me everywhere at Matt Talks Sports. Go Bills. I'll see you guys soon.